So I just so happened to keep the stock radio out of that Jeep when I put the radio in it. And I just took the radio out of this truck and put the one for the Jeep in here. And after a 8-minute phone call to the dealership, they gave me the security code. And now I've got I don't want to turn it up because I get that copyright going on. But I got a new radio. It sounds better than that one because I think this one probably has more power supplied to it. But I know it doesn't have nav because this truck doesn't have nav. Where's the button at for it? Let's just see what happens if you click it. View map. I will say, when I first turned the key on, this thing said Jeep on it, and now it says Dodge, I guess, when it starts up, but I've already set it up, so it's not going to say it, but it said Dodge when I first, or I said Jeep, and then the second time I unplugged everything and then turned it back on to redo the security code. And it said Dodge that time, so, but right on. So we drove all the way down to Florida to bring the old RZR out here, and we had a good time in the RZR, but these tires are entirely too big for this RZR, for it being all stock. And let's see if you can get a good look here at this. Where's that thing at? Ain't got no steering. We were here for about an hour and a half driving around, and it was a good time out there. Fun trails, and we had a good time. But all right, so this coming in the mail today. Got some new ball joints, outer. I got a new rack, it's all taped up. Stuff for the boot covers. Tie rod bolts. They got it set up with some misalignment bushings. Yep. What else we got here? Tie rod links. Not bad. Old Super ATV. I bought the heavy duty version. But I'm pretty sure someone putting them big tires on that thing wore it out. Don't make no sense to me. I'm not really big in the whole mud and scene, but I'm more of a desert guy. Sand dunes and stuff like that. But we'll go ahead and slap this thing on that thing. Be a 1000 here. Get this thing fixed up. Because, let's see. That's me turning the steering wheel. Sounds fabulous, right? So I'm in the middle of stripping off this steering rack, and the old boy I got this from didn't give me a lug nut tool or the lug nut socket, so I cannot get those off. But I'm taking the steering knuckle loose right now. It's not too bad. Here, let me see if I can steer this around. Got the nut off. Really can't see, but it's right there in that little triangle. Got the nut off of it. So we'll go ahead and tap that bolt out. That's wild. The steering wants to work now. Dumb. Nah, the steering's junk in this thing. It's a known problem. So we'll get it replaced out. I'm sorry to that fan blowing right here. I know it's probably pretty loud, but you can see here there for the steering rack has left the steering rack, and that's my issue as to why I can't steer. I'm in the process of I'm trying to get that thing freed up. It's so rusted on there. Up here on the top half of that U-joint right there. Can't get it to free off that thing, so I got this rack as close to what I believe is centered from the inside of here to that flange. From the inside of this recess to that flange, it's centered. I don't have a scale small enough to fit it. It's next best thing, and I used a piece of plastic, measured it, and then moved this thing around until I was at my dimensions I needed. Steering stops on. All right, so I just got done eating, and I apologize for that fan. I am not shutting it off. It is hot, 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 and humid. But here are these new tie rod ends for the steering rack. They are a Heim joint style, a little more beefy than what's on here. This is just a normal ball joint like you'd find on like a Toyota Prius. So go ahead and slap these on. Got this side hung. I got the new rack installed. I said there ain't enough room now. If I had another hand or something to help me record, I might be able to get you some footage of this, but there ain't no room for none of this. So I got that new rack in. I got this side on. Nothing's tight yet. I got to set a basic alignment on it real quick. I'm just gonna make sure them wheels are straight. I'll pull a tape on it and make sure they're straight and level front, or not level, but even rear to front. Rear side of the tire to the front side. Now I got 2 pieces of wood. I can slip the tape in. I'll just make sure we're leveled up. Not level square, I guess. But we'll go ahead and slap this tie rod and connecting link on here. Oh my. Looks like something wrong up here. Look at this. I don't know if I showed you guys a real solid deal on what's going on here, but this thing's junk. So pop that seal off. Good wear right here where the seal is, and then just look at the dirt caked in here. Unreal. Hard to see in there. Dirt, I mean, that's dog hair. Don't mind. You guys know there's going to be dog hair on pretty much anything I touch, but look at that dirt. Grime. I wouldn't even say grease. That is straight dirt, water. So I know it's not been snorkeled before unless they put an entire new bed on this thing, because everything just looks so factory. So you can tell something's been modified. Roof, front bumper, windshield roof, etc. I mean, they just do this roof ain't permanent. A couple zip ties in there and this whatever, but some real rusty hardware on the old Pro Box top here. Oh, that's the back one. There you go. That thing's pointed straight at the ground. Straight at the ground is where everything's pointed. And back home, when we go riding and stuff out in like the sand dunes of Glamis or Laughlin, Nevada in the desert, or in the desert of Arizona, across the river from Laughlin, Nevada, I mean, you gotta have some sort of good lighting, because you can't see when you're rolling the 65, 70 cooking through the desert. It ain't like out here where you gotta drive 25, 15 mile an hour to cut around some trees and stuff real slow. Out there, you can open it up, especially when you know them trails, or you think you know them trails until there was a heavy rain and it washed out them paths now. I know these things are just a little bit loud, but got the new steering rack installed. We're able to drive it again, so taking this instead of the old golf cart to go take out the trash. Got some Philly cheesesteaks going on here. I got just over 2 pounds of cheap ribeye that I chopped up just froze them pretty good before they were froze. Chopped them up. I already got my vegetables hit on the flat top, so I'm gonna stir this one more time. It ain't gonna take long to cook. Thin this slice. I'm gonna get this thing all mixed up. I'm gonna put those vegetables back in. I should have done it like I do my carne asada and cut the meat into like little cubes, I guess. But this looks kind of like carne asada they put on their fries. But it's gonna work out. With everything stirred up, threw the vegetables back on there. And that's just green bell pepper, red bell pepper, and some onion. I'll go ahead and get this thing mixed back in here and pull it off. It ain't gonna be much longer. I'm just trying to keep everything nice and hot. Now we got the air fryer going, some French fries. Let me show you a little secret here. You take your tomato ketchup here and your favorite hot sauce, which mine is Tapatio or Cholula. they're both hand in hand for me. Also kind of depends on what I'm eating, because I do like sriracha as well. But we take some ketchup, put it down here on a plate for these fries. Get that tapatio. And you smother that ketchup in that tapatio. And that's it right there. And now I almost forgot. It belongs in ketchup. Some pepper in there. Oh yeah. Look at that.